Hi everybody, this is Viji'sVeggieVignettes. So I am going to be doing one more spinach recipe that is very popular in the Tambram cuisine. We do it very often in our mother-in-law's home, and it's a stir fry where the spinach cooks because you have already washed the spinach well and it retains its wetness. So if you add water to cook it, it will turn mushy. So you want it to be grainy and well cooked. You want it to be like a stir fry. Just the water with which you have washed and drained, and that wetness is sufficient for the spinach to cook. It can be done in just about 5 minutes. It's over. Okay? So we'll start off by seasoning. I won't be adding the salt initially because I want it to cook well. I'll add the salt later. We'll allow the oil to heat up first, but we'll add a little mustard. Not much. At this stage, I'll add a little. There. Did you see it jumping up? So that should be avoided. It can jump to your face. It can even fly to your hand, anywhere, and burn. It's just a slight burning sensation, but you don't want it to get into your eyes, right? Mustard is a very tricky fella. You got to be careful with it before we add. This is washed, so it has a little wetness. I'll just add the hing, and then I will just mix it up and allow it to stir fry. If I don't see any water here, let me just sprinkle a little bit. I'll close this. Allow it to become a little soft. So let's open and see. I just kept for a couple of minutes. You can sometimes open and sprinkle a little water too if you feel it's taking a longer time for these stems to get soft. If it's a little crunchy but cooked, that should be sufficient. So this seems to be done. I will switch off and add a little sambar powder. Okay. This gives a very good flavor to the dish. Let me add salt powder, not that stone salt, because there is hardly any water for it to cook. Turmeric powder. There is also a lot of turmeric powder in the sambar powder, but it's extra super healthy, so we can add that. A little sugar also would be a good thing, just a little. And I add this grated coconut. I like to add a little more of that sambar powder. I'll mix this all up. I'll keep it closed for about a minute or less than a minute. Let's open and see. A little over 40 seconds or something I kept it. Now make sure that you don't add more salt than needed. It definitely needs sugar because it balances the flavor of that sambar powder, spices, the coconut, the salt, and everything. And then it makes it a beautiful dish. That is why sugar, a little bit of sugar. You can add brown sugar, you can add jaggery too, if you want to have a healthier option. And let me add the seasoning that I had kept aside. A little more coconut on the top to make it look good. This is a super duper recipe. It's easy, and I have to say this. We add very little oil in this cuisine for most of the healthy dishes. For all the green vegetables that we do, we make it as green as possible, and by adding the right spices and cooking it the right way. And we add just about a teaspoon or hardly 2 teaspoons of oil to season it, including the sambars, including the lentil vegetables, and including a stir fry like this. The salt is less, the spices are right, the oil is very less, and you can imagine what a super duper recipe turns out to be because the sambar powder has an incredible flavor. This super duper simple, easy, fantastic tasting dish is over. Just look at the color. It is so beautiful. And it's equally tasty. It's completely delicious. You can mix it up with your hot ghee rice and then eat it. You can also have it with curd and rice. It is very tasty. And you can have it as a side for a main course. This is known as Keerai Sundal. This is a stir fry with all the right spices that I showed you. Sundal is generally referred to pulses that are cooked and added with a lot of spices that we do during the festival of Navratri. For some reason, it is known as Keerai Sundal, that is spinach sundal. So it's a spinach stir fry. Try it at home and you will not regret it because it's so healthy. And please give me your feedback. All the details of the measurements that I've used for all the ingredients are given in the description box below. So pardon me if I do not talk of the measurements at all, because I hardly do that in all my recipes. I'm so caught up in talking to you and telling you how wonderful the dish that I'm preparing. I forget to tell you the exact measurements. So watch me, follow that, and try this recipe and come back to me with your feedback. Any questions, I'm there to answer. And do subscribe to my channel. So until we meet again the next time with a completely new recipe, here's Viji'sVeggieVignettes signing off. Bye.